Hey everybody, this is Drew Bees. New channel. Gonna be experimenting with some stuff with some of my hives as far as sharing with you all what I'm working on. This is only my second year beekeeping, but just figure if I can share some stuff that I've noticed, or if you guys enjoy it, that's great. But today what I'm going to be doing for this first video is those little 2-frame nucs that I got from Barnyard Bees a couple weeks ago. I wanted to try to make some late summer splits. I know it's kind of a risky thing to do at this time of the year, but I lost one of my deeps. The one with the green rock over there was a deep. Lost it back in, let's see, early July. Looked like it got robbed out by the other ones since we went through the dearth this summer. So at this point, what I'm going to try to do is try to see if I can rebuild back up my numbers, so that way I can get nuke-sized colonies from those little 2-framers going into the winter. I know it's kind of a risky thing to do, but I had some spare bees that I wanted to try this out with. Last year I had lost a queen in late November and was still able to get a new queen born after Thanksgiving and mated, which was pretty incredible. I know it gets harder as the summer goes along, but I figured there's still a chance for me, you know, assuming these 2 mini nucs, these 2-framers, if they can produce a queen, hopefully she can get mated. I can try to put the feed on heavy and hope that I can at least transfer them into 5-frame nukes, like that brownish colored one over there on the left. I'm hoping I can make that brownish one on the left into a normal 10-frame deep come end of October, early November, but that TBD on that. So let us get into these 2-framers and see what we got. So those 2 mini nucs, they were gone. Most likely got robbed out by the other 2. So that did not work. It was worth a shot. I had some spare frames for me to try it with, but both the mini nucs, they basically got either robbed out or they just left, one or the other. So now we're gonna go into the 5-framer. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna expand it or not based upon how busy they look in there or not. Better of an angle. At least there's stuff going on here. Still have about 14 more days worth of Apiguard treatment on this going on. Let's take a quick peek. Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed about those mini nucs. I knew it was kind of a risk. I knew it was wishful thinking I could make that happen, but you know, I know one of these bigger hives, the red rocked one or the yellow rocked one, I think has been prone to robbing. So next year might have to be a new queen, but get those things requeened. This one's got some nectar on it, so that's good. Not too worried about that. Just looking for eggs again, because again, it's been a little bit since I've been in this one. And I had given them some nectar and some resources. I kind of stole it from another one not that long ago because they were kind of behind. Not seeing any fresh eggs, just cap brood. I think that's been there for a bit. No, actually I take that back. I see a few fresh eggs. Kind of hard to see in the video. I know it's kind of dim over here. I'm a little shadier than I would like to be in this part of the woods. But there's some eggs in there. Cap brood and eggs. And nectar. So that's good. At least one of them's doing okay. I don't know if I'm quite yet at the spot that I want to expand them into anything more than a 5 frame. Let me finish this inspection, then I will pause the video for now and we'll resume directly after that. Just wanted to share this with the group. Not sure what any of y'all's experience with the hive top feeders are. I think this might be, honestly, I'm never going to use them again, but I've had some issues where I've seen some folks, they'll try to seal up these gaps right up here, you know, using some sort of like almost like a caulking spray or a gel to kind of like seal up over here. But what I found is no matter what, somehow, you know, bees are smart, but they're not the smartest. And sometimes they'll find a way to get into the bottom down here at the bottom of that mesh inner liner, and they'll get drowned, right? I don't know if it's just because it's like a mad dash to the bottom and everyone's pushing and shoving. Someone ends up getting pushed into the water and they drown. I don't know. They're supposed to be able to climb up these mesh metal grates, be able to climb back down into the hive, and so on and so forth. But again, inevitably, I find some that are drowned here. So I personally don't want to caulk anything around here unless it's easy to remove. Because usually I end up having to take these screws off once every so often, pull this whole metal thing out, dump any dead bees out. And today, I didn't have that problem, but I just want to bring it up that that's one issue. Today, going back into the gap, I opened this up and there were a whole mess of dead bees just in the hive body, kind of just like hanging out down in here. I've already dumped them out, but it looks like they found a way to crawl through, hang out in there, and probably not able to find their way back. It doesn't look like they drowned. I think the sugar water was already drank, but I just want to bring it up. Maybe you guys have some different thoughts on that, different feeders. I bought a few of those round top feeders. I'm going to try those out this fall, winter time frame, see if those work any better. But I like the idea of these things. I don't know. I don't think I'll be investing in any more of them, but leave your comments down below if you can think of a better solution, or if it's the same, if you're seeing the same thing and these are kind of a pass. Let's see a good hive for once. I've only shown you guys bad stuff, fortunately, for this first video, but that's the way it goes sometimes. So we're gonna go into this slightly bigger hive right here. It's a 2 deep right now. It just exploded, and it's also getting the Apivar treatment right now. So I just want to go in there, check the top row. I'm not going to go into the bottom box, I'm going to be honest, and see what we can move around just to check. All right, let's take a look. I'm not much of a talker on these, but I will try to get better at that while I'm doing stuff. I know most of y'all not really sure what demographic usually watches these videos. Maybe some of it is actual beekeepers. Some of it might just be people curious about getting into beekeeping. Like I said, it's probably the best decision I made as far as a hobby goes. Extremely relaxing. Yeah, it can be stressful at times. It can be upsetting when bad things happen, but what isn't, right? So I would encourage anyone, if you have the ability to do so, to keep bees. Started with 2 hives 2 years ago. I'm at 5 right now. I guess technically 4. Alright, so I'm going to swap that one out real quick. So they are not doing much in the way of drawing wax out, which is not surprising. I'm gonna go through a few more of these and then we'll pause the video. Oh, a lot better. That one's straight nectar. Don't know if you can see that in the video. The sun's coming out a little bit more, but that's all just straight nectar. There's a beetle. I'm gonna go kill that guy. I use a set of tweezers. I know it's kind of a little extra work, but I actually enjoy doing it. Don't want beetles in my hive, no one does. I know it's tedious to do that sometimes, but I mean, I do the beetle traps, the oil ones. Those work okay. I just started doing the Swiffer sheets this year, so I know that's popular with a lot of folks. The thing that I'm really liking, I didn't have these last year, I'll show you this in the back, but these Apivar, actually Apamay, I'm sorry, not Apivar, Apamay hive bottoms. These things have been incredible. I find dead beetles down here. This is just diatomaceous earth down in here, and I find, yeah, dead beetles, dead wax moths when they just fall through. So that's been extremely helpful in comparison. Before, I was using screen hive bottom boards with just like the like that cardboard bottom liner, and I mean that was good for doing the mite count, but short of that, I mean, beetles or whatever are just gonna fall, hit it, and continue on their business. It's not gonna kill them. So the things that I have in place now just kill them, just flat out. And so that's been a lot better. And I've really noticed a reduction of numbers of them from this past year. Same with, oh shoot, I'm gonna have to put it in the comments later, but I bought those nematodes. There we go, beneficial nematodes. I did that for the first year this year in kind of all the surrounding area around the hives. I put that in the spring. I think they say it might last up to a year. I know there's differences on the time frame for that, but I've definitely noticed an improvement just in that alone. So I've basically done a little bit of everything this year as far as fighting off the beetles, because last year on my first year it was so bad. I mean, I lost a hive because they definitely got overrun from the beetles. But this year I was like, nope, that's not going to happen again. So, all right, I'm just going to go through this hive. I don't want you guys just to listen to me rattle on about all this, but I'll pause it, and then if I got anything else to go over before I feed these guys again, we can do that. this is all put back together, I'm gonna had it as a 9 frame, but I'm gonna just do it as a 10 frame up top because I have the space. I don't expect them to draw out any wax really at this time of the year, but they're just so crowded. If they didn't have this extra box, I don't know what they'd do. So I'm just gonna put it back together, put the shim back on, put back that top feeder that I don't like, that I won't be using after this year probably, and go from there. Let's see, come on. There you go. All right. Try to get them all off the lid. For now, when I come back, do the sugar water, get those stragglers that were in there, and then yeah, we'll go from there. At this point, I'm just going to be doing a little feeding off the top with those top hive feeders that I was talking about. That's all I got right now. Let me show you how that works. Apologize for the unsteady camera. That's gonna have to do. So again, these are better than nothing for top feeding. But you can see, if you look up real close, when these things are empty, the bees just crowd that thing. Fill it all the way up to the top. And that inner gate just waiting for you to put some more sugar water in there for them. So I'm gonna do that real quick, try to get the lid back on before they freak out. I recommend not filling this thing up all the way. I know they're gonna drink it quick, but the less you put in here, in my opinion, the better. I know that seems counterintuitive, but I wouldn't go more than half. Just take my word for it. I feel like you're gonna run into more problems than you think you are. You're gonna have drowning somehow. The bees are gonna get stuck at the bottom. You're gonna have that whole mess on your hands. Let's move to the next one. Again, apologize for the camera, but I am using a tripod that isn't as steady as I thought it would be. So, here we have 2 bees that somehow are out of. You gotta look for the holes. Like I said, I might have to find a different way to seal this up, but for now, I'm just gonna put a little bit of sugar water in there. Not too much. And this is just a good way, in my opinion, to keep the bees in your hive and hopefully them not rob the other hives. And this yellow and red one have been the most guilty, it seems, of doing all the robbing. It's partly my fault, but it's part of the learning experience. I know what not to do next time, or I should say next year. So you can see this one's pretty much empty as well. Same thing, bees all clustered all over the place. Get a little bit more sugar water for them. Put that back in there. And that's it for now. About it, folks, for today. I said 4 hives. I know I said 5 in the last video. I don't know why I said that. Especially after shrinking down, taking those 2 tiny hives, ended up putting that back into just a deep box instead of the double nuck. It didn't make any sense to do that. I don't know why I thought about that. But 4 hives for now. This is early September. Hopefully we can get these bees ready for October and ultimately for going into winter. So I'm going to continue to feed. I haven't really noticed if any natural nectar's coming in from goldenrod or anything like that, but I really do hope that comes in soon, only because I'm getting kind of tired of feeding these past few months. So appreciate the watch. We'll try to get better content in the future. Like I said, this is a very small, it's just one tiny little yard of bees, but I hope I can get some better content here down the road for you. But just wanted to share where I'm at right now with my current situation. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.